This kind of could go on forever, so I'm going to make this the last one. But I want to talk about the overcrowding, and obviously that's kind of in the public eye right now. It's a bit of a hot topic, but there are lots of reasons for overcrowding, and it's not just about not kind of building enough new places in prison. When I came back in 2014, overcrowding was already an issue. It's always been an issue. Always, definitely. But obviously the remedies were, right, stick another bed in that cell, stick another 2 beds in that cell, boom. Even on my first sentence, if you were doing life, you were entitled to have a single cell. In fact, you weren't allowed to be in a shared cell, as far as I'm aware. Now, you're not entitled to anything of the sort. I think there's ways in which that is kind of fair, that a lifer should have kind of their own time and space, because a life sentence is a long time usually, and yeah, whatever they've got their life sentence for, everyone will have opinions on that, of course, but these guys, they kind of need to be able to get their head down and get on with the time that they've got to do. I've actually served roughly the same amount of time as the average lifer, maybe a little bit more than the average lifer, but obviously I had a 3-year holiday between sentences, so not quite the same, but actually it is kind of the same, really. Anyway, that's by the by. The overcrowding is an issue, and that's not likely to go away anytime soon. But my point is, there are reasons for that overcrowding, and one of them is a very big reason, in my opinion, is that rehabilitation. I've said this before, it might sound flippant of me, but there is no rehabilitation in prison unless you bring it to yourself from within yourself. I am not a criminal anymore. The simple reason, it was nothing to do with the courses that I was asked to do in prison, which were fucking bullshit anyway, really. It was, and when I say bullshit, I mean most of those courses are just lip service to the public, so that the Home Office can say, yeah, we do this, we do that, we do the other, but it doesn't seem to change them because they're all recidivist scumbags. It's not quite that simple, I'm afraid. The courses are not worth a wank, if I'm honest. You can get something from them, but honestly, most guys do them just because they think it will help them get their category D into an open prison. And to an extent, they are correct in assuming that, in thinking that. But, you know, most guys, most of my friends during my time away, they'll only do the bare minimum just to tick that box and move on to the next box. The courses, I don't know how much of it they even absorb, if any. I actually actively took part in the courses I was asked to do because I thought, fuck it, I'm here now, I've got to do it, I might as well put something into it and hopefully get something out of it. But as I said, I didn't need paperwork to advise or help me to reach the point where I am now. I did that all off my own back, and that's probably because I'm more capable than the courses, in my opinion. So that, you know, so when you leave prison and you've been given no actual substantial reason not to reoffend, you know, I've said it before, I think that if I was Home Secretary, don't laugh, I would make anybody serving a sentence of 6 years or more, so you'll serve generally half of that 6 years. In 3 years, you can become anything you want in terms of training and distance learning, pretty much. And if I was Home Secretary, I would force everyone to do some vocational training. Not some bullshit putting bits of plastic together to hang pictures on the wall in some shitty workshop in Onley like I did before. You know, that they said that was to enable you, the prisoner, it gives you a feeling and an overview of what it's like to go to work every day. Come on, man, you're sitting there fiddling about with stupid bits of plastic and then stacking them 1, 2, 3, hundreds every day. You had a minimum count that you had to achieve. What is that? What kind of help to get a job outside is that? What, you want to go and work in a Chinese sweatshop? Is that what they're asking us to do? It makes no sense to me. Real vocational training. Come out with a trade, then you have the choice. It's in your hands. You can either go back to doing what you were doing, or you can go and do your trade and live your life. Only my opinion, guys, but it is another way in which the whole system is broken. It does nothing for anyone. And of course, again, the general public will be saying, yeah, fuck them. Why should we pay for them to get trained, scumbag criminals? Well, look at it this way. You're paying 40 grand a year for us to be in there anyway, so you might as well chip in some of that 40 grand on some actual vocational training that gives you the option to go back to crime or not go back to crime. The genuine option. Some people take the option not to go back to crime, but 3 weeks, 3 months later, they are so up against the wall, financially, spiritually, that, you know, it just sucks them back in. And I'm not saying I can't blame them for that. I don't have an opinion either way. It's not fair to. But if you got to give people something to get their teeth into. And like I say, whether the public like that or not, I believe that in the long run, the public will benefit from it massively, or in theory could benefit from it massively. So yeah, look, the prison system, it's a mess. I don't know where the fault lies. I really don't. It's not the people on the shop floor, I don't think. They are swimming against the tide. They're trying. Are they failing? To an extent, but you know, they can't be blamed for it. They're not there to fix prisons. They're there to lock doors and unlock doors, essentially. So, yeah, it's a mess. I'm not going to say too much more about this now. In fact, I'm not going to say anything more about it. As I mentioned earlier, I could go on and on and on and on and on. Nobody wants to fucking hear me do that. Have a good day, everyone. Hasta la vista.